Are we ready?
You ready?
Does this mic work?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you!
What were my options again? Sorry. Come on! With Cory.
I hope everyone has a ball.
Kevin. Don't listen to Stefan and his corrupt rules. And Stefan.
Pacers versus the Mavs, which is, I believe, is also tonight. Oh, goddamn you, Siri. Stop. I've never once called you and actually wanted to talk.
You said Pacers.
There's a no-hitter right now. Bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
Wow! You know it's bad when Kevin's correcting people on their pronunciation of names. You know you're in trouble. You, sir, are god-awful.
That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
It's time!
And here we go.
Wait. Trubisky sucks.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, man?
Episode 124
Yes, sir.
of We Might Know Sports. A ton of sports going on right now, so plenty to talk about.
Yet our notes don't reflect that.
No, they don't. There is nothing going on in
There's
sports.
always something to talk about.
There's music going on. That's good.
Yeah. My finger got stuck, sorry.
We got like a week off in between the Eastern Conference Finals and the Finals. That's good. Always a plus.
NFL starts in 100 days, so does the NBA Finals.
100-day countdown is on. Can't wait. Oh, what do we got? We got the final tally for our bracket boys.
It was a nail biter.
Bucket boys.
It was extremely close. I still don't know how Burger King even made it into the final.
Cory was
No one else
vengeful. That's how.
I feel like there were so many other options that could have at least gotten a vote or two against Taco Bell.
You would think.
But
Probably the people are right, though. I think a lot of people would pick Taco Bell out of our bracket.
Annie Ann's would have been, I think, a better challenger. That's for sure. I listened back to last week's podcast, and Stefan, I think your heart was just not in it after I think Wendy's got knocked out by Burger King and Cory's veto, because you were just like, fuck it, Burger King. So I don't know what Burger King and Wendy's, why it disheartened you, but
because Wendy's is just so much better of a burger. Like,
yeah, but Auntie Anne's is so much better too. It's okay.
yeah, but I think we're just like you said.
You could have pushed Auntie Anne's through.
Yeah,
I could.
I think it would have been a little closer of a vote at least. I know we had one abstain vote, or basically say none. That was our college football expert Joe.
That's rude.
Mm-hmm.
It's rude.
He actually participates in a lot of our polls.
Does he?
Yeah.
What did he vote for? Did he vote on this most recent one we just did?
Well, let's finalize and then I can look it up.
So Taco Bell. This wasn't even like past midnight. This is all time of the day, Taco Bell. They also serve breakfast. Is our favorite fast food, apparently.
The people's.
I'm not complaining.
I don't care that TV won. Well,
I'm a-
resounding 13-0.
I'm a big fan of the one meal that blows my asshole up every time.
All right.
Who am I kidding? I don't even need that to blow my asshole up. It's just always blowing up. But yeah, so Taco Bell. Champ.
Like I said, not really a surprise.
Not a surprise at all.
Warriors in the finals. I'm not shocked.
What did you say?
It's as surprising as Golden State in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you are surprised by that, though.
I'm not.
I think you
I
are.
picked them to win the whole thing.
I don't think you did. Question of the week last week. Did we like the last episode of Game of Thrones? The people say no. Close one, though.
5-6, 11 votes. Great turnout.
That was very close.
I think it was 5 more than last week. Apparently, I gotta pick my questions wisely, and usually center around food. Apparently, so
I just want to know what the problem is with it. Like, I would like to hear people's explanation of why it sucked.
All right.
I think because it was an ending that
Remember, there's spoilers here.
we're beyond spoiler territory. I think it has something to do with. I guess there's like rumors that the ending changed for George R. Martin as like the seasons have progressed, and like once we got past the book, I feel like he's changing his story to something more.
He has. Yeah, he has.
So
this isn't a spoiler because it doesn't happen. He originally said that he wanted Arya and Jon Snow to be a love thing, and the show chose not to go that way.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone would have been happy with any ending at that point because the whole season just was rushed, except for like the first 3 episodes were phenomenal, and then it was just like we'll mail in the ending, we'll have Dany kill Jon Snow and just be that way. Spoilers.
I zoned out anyway, so it's all good.
Cool. Well, it didn't really happen anyway. So, but it's just I don't know. I didn't appreciate it because I feel like it left it too open ending. I would have liked some closure. Like with Breaking Bad, a lot of people like knowing that what happens because it ended one character's story. Whereas Game of Thrones, you have 3 open-ended endings, basically, where you don't exactly know what's going to happen next.
I don't get people's infatuation with having to know.
You gotta know.
You have to. You gotta have closure.
What's the point of telling of a story if there's no end? Like, if you think about it, Avengers, they had an end to this 10-year arcing story. And it's obviously about to pass Avatar. Granted, apparently not to what Disney wanted. Apparently not.
If you factor in inflation, it's not even close.
You never factor in inflation. Avatar didn't.
You have to factor in inflation. Gone with the Wind is number 1 if you factor that in.
Oh, stop.
Oh God.
And it's not close. Like it'd be like $3 billion for Gone with the Wind. What's Avatar 1?
No, it's 2.8. And I think Avengers are only 100 million away, last I knew. Not counting this weekend. But either way, I mean, you're looking at something that arced, and other than Ben, who doesn't like anything apparently, because he didn't even like any of the original Game of Thrones episodes. Like, so I'm not even gonna ask his opinion for this past season. He probably liked it. He's probably the one son of a bitch that enjoyed like every single moment. I don't even understand why he watched it, but I know he complained about how long Endgame, and he said Infinity War was better. I think Cory, you said you saw something like that too.
I saw the critics, saying that. Obviously, I don't have my own opinion yet.
So I mean, I don't know. I feel like as a fan of the Marvel universe, I was rewarded for like being involved in those 10 years of movies. You know? Maybe it's something like that, because I know I had the same feeling with Breaking Bad. Like with that definitive end, I was rewarded, like with knowing.
I think what the fans are failing to take into consideration is, well, I just saw an interview with George Martin himself. Said he has other ideas for other characters, and he has a lot more books to write in him.
Yeah.
So he's not going to close off characters and give people closure when he's going to write about those characters. Why would he? I don't get what the people expected.
Well, but he's planning on continuing the story for those characters, whereas in the show, they've already said they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, the show's done. I mean, they're all doing their own thing now. Sophie Turner's going to be the face of X-Men now.
Well, she's already been. Yeah, I get your point. I mean, I've started doing the audiobooks of Game of Thrones now. I had done the first one, and it was like basically watching the season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the first 3 seasons really are dead on the book.
I mean, season 2 now, I've already listened to like 10 hours because I only do audio because I can't concentrate reading words on pages. But I mean, there's slight differences. Like Theon isn't greeted by Yara at the port; it's his uncle there. What's his face? It's like the only difference right now I've noticed. So,
well, George Martin's interview, one of the questions I asked him too is, what characters, like, are there any characters that you don't think resemble what you had in your mind? And he said, it's kind of funny because he answered it in 2 parts. He goes, my favorite character in the show is Tyrion. I think Peter Dinklage does an amazing job at playing him. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of, his personality is how I pictured. But as far as what he looks like physically, he goes, I think Peter Dinklage is actually a pretty good-looking guy, and Tyrion's supposed to be really ugly.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but they have, like, what the character should have looked like and what they do look like. And he's got, like, a hole missing on his nose and all sorts of things, so. Yeah. So attractive.
So all in all, people just hate Game of Thrones, I guess, right? So we're getting at here. So there's no point. Like, if you haven't finished it by now, you might as well just not finish it. Is what I've gotten.
Okay.
There's still a lot of lovers. I got a lot of compliments on my shirt at the mall today.
Did you?
I guess we can spoil it for Stefan then, if he doesn't care.
No, there's no need to do all that. Just let bygones be bygones, man. Let it go. Let it go off into the sunset. Bye-bye.
See, I don't know how you live your life, Stefan, because I would want to know how these things form my own opinion.
You know me. Like, I don't finish shows. I don't finish.
That doesn't mean I don't understand.
I kind of bail out at some point. I'm just like, I don't really need to know. Well, and I'm okay with it. Actually, I can't figure out how to sign back into the HBO Go. So it's kind of part of the issue there.
That's what's holding you back.
But they did like an update on my Spectrum app on my Xbox, so I think that the HBO might work better now on there. so maybe I'll be able to get on there. I don't know why I can't sign back in HBO Go. That makes no sense to me, but whatever. But I start new shows all the time, and I just instead of watching the shows that I really need to watch, I just start new shows.
What show was it that the Haunting Hill House of Hill House or whatever it's called on Netflix? That one's good.
Yeah, that was another one I watched like a couple episodes and I just bailed out.
It's only like 6 or 8 episodes, so
yeah, I know. I heard it was good. I mean, I didn't hate it. I don't know why I didn't.
It was an interesting way to tell the story because the first like 2 or 3 episodes I think was building up to an event, and then you see like, or you hear about the event, and then the next couple, I think 3 or 4 episodes is basically following one character until the event happens, and then a little past. It's pretty cool. I'm not usually a flashback type of fan, but I think the way they did it worked.
Huh. I'll have to get back into that at some point. I know I got Black Mirror coming up soon, so I'm going to be all in on that.
Oh, what was that one with Christina Applegate? Just watched it.
Dead to Me or Dead? Yeah, Dead to Me.
Yeah, Dead to Me.
That's pretty good.
I've
been watching that. That was pretty good. I just started watching this other show that's been on Netflix. I think it's been on Netflix for a while, called Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard about it.
It's pretty good so far. I've watched like three episodes. They're only half hour long too, so
that's
right up your alley.
That's always what. Yeah,
kind of
those 30 minutes, like, you got me.
Yeah.
Like an hour, like that's why I think I've put off Black Mirror for as long as I have, because it's like it's a commitment.
Those hour-long shows take commitment. It's
like
tough.
The Haunting of Hill House was just like, let's just finish watching. I forgot what the other show was, but it was only 30 minutes, so it's just like, all right, we'll do that.
And now I just found out that like Hulu has like all these like movies. They have this like Into the Dark series or something. I think it's called Into the Dark, and it's like a bunch of like movies that are like an hour and a half long or something like that. So now I'm kind of getting into those. But I only made it through like halfway of one movie, and then I got too tired, so I turned it off. But there's a lot of good shit out there. I'll get around to Game of Thrones eventually. I'll get around. I'm probably not going to see Endgame until I can like buy it on iTunes or something, or rent it on iTunes.
Captain Marvel came out today on digital.
Did it?
Yeah.
When's Endgame going to come on digital?
Probably end of August, I would guess.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, because Captain Marvel came out beginning of March. So
I'm ready for this Disney app.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. I'm gonna be very upset when they all start doing their own little thing here and everything gets ripped off of.
Just buy The Office.
It's just gonna be a mess, man. Be a mess.
Yeah, they're all gonna fail, and it's gonna collapse back into something else other than Disney.
You think the Disney app's gonna fail?
I don't think the Disney app's gonna fail because they have too much power.
The Disney app has too much good content.
I was gonna say there's too much.
But I mean, like NBC and ABC, or not ABC, obviously, but NBC and CBS. CBS has been doing their own thing. I guess they're happy with whatever they're getting out of it.
CBS is probably happy with football. They won't fail as long as they have NFL rights.
But NBC taking away stuff from Netflix, it's more harmful to NBC because I think people are gonna do what I'm gonna do, which is buy The Office.
I already have most of the seasons of The Office anyway.
Did NBC take Parenthood off of there?
Not yet, but I'm sure I think they're planning on taking all their stuff off, like Friends and stuff. So.
Bastards.
Yeah. Gonna suck. 'Cause I'm not trying to buy like that many.
Yeah.
different.
No, I'm not trying to buy 6 seasons
I'm,
of Parenthood.
I'm gonna be waiting for those like TV season sales on iTunes and be like, oh, $30.
That's what I'm waiting for with Game
Okay.
of Thrones.
Yeah, well, with Game of Thrones, I'm waiting for 4K. It's like I'm gonna future-proof myself as much as possible.
I need to buy a new TV too. In the market.
I need to too.
I do too.
Kevin,
I would get killed. Get an 8K TV. It's the same TV, just only better quality. That's all. Yeah, my TV. So the 82 inch in 8K, I believe is like 16 grand. So
Jesus.
I can't stretch that one. And I only got
Might be a tough sell.
I only got the current one because she was busy, and I asked her, and then
Trying
she
to decide if I want to go for quality or quantity as in size.
Right now, I think Costco has like 75-inch ones for good prices. I think like
Yeah, they did. I was there. I was gonna get like, cause I think I was thinking about getting like a 55 or 60. I ain't trying to go 75.
I didn't realize how heavy the bigger TVs are. You kind of lose like aspect when you're used to the smaller ones. So when you do get that, like the 82-inch one that bruised the shit out of my arm trying to install it, it's like 100 pounds. And you don't think it's that like heavy. You think 100 pounds, I can lift it. And then just the awkwardness, and you can't touch the screen. But if you go bigger, Stefan, you gotta make sure you secure it right, because you don't want it falling.
No.
So if you put it on something,
there was actually a TV stand at Costco that I was thinking about getting. It was like $200 or $300, something like that. But it's got like a thing that comes up off the TV stand that you can like.
Yeah, those things are cool.
Yeah. So it ain't going anywhere.
Screwing.
It's like I don't want to mount it to the wall, but I also don't want it just on a TV stand where it can get knocked over. So that would be like perfect.
Yeah.
In between.
Just like a slight nudge, and you just watch your hopes and dreams go to the ground and start crying a little bit.
I already fucked up. Well, I didn't really fuck up the TV, but I was like removing like my cable box or something, and like I don't know what I was doing, but I caught like the corner of it on the screen. So now there's like this little tiny white dot.
Oh,
I always
so
notice.
annoying.
I'm sure nobody else will probably notice, but I notice it because I know it's there.
Yep. I hate that. It's like as soon as you see something, it's like, that's gonna bug the shit out.
But at least it like didn't like crack or something, you know. Then it would have been all fucked.
Yeah, like your dad's TV.
Yeah, like his. I still love that. I was like, maybe it's just got to warm up a little bit. No, they don't warm up anymore like that. Like that's not how TVs work.
The projector, you know.
Well, anywho, moving on to Kevin's question of the week this week. Very hot topic. Pineapple on pizza.
It's good to see our friendship is alive and well, Stefan. Just saying.
Are you for or against it? I was just trying to throw in some support for Stacy.
Either way, we don't agree about something finally.
Yeah, we've been agreeing too much, so we had to disagree for a while. Right now, last time I checked, there was like 25 votes. And I think it was like 14 to 11.
Really? On the pizza one?
We're up to 26, actually. Yeah, Stefan actually shared it.
I shared it, that's why. See, I like to pick and choose when I share things, because, you know.
It's 12-4, 14 against right now.
Oh, catching up. It's going to be a close one.
You sharing this has had it reach probably almost 100 people more than what we usually get on any other post.
Yeah.
Like the Burger King one got reached to 72 people.
Yeah, last I saw, we were up to like 160 something. We reached.
168.
Yeah. So, look at how much power you have.
Got the power. I'd like to keep it in my hand.
Wait till Cory shares it. Then it's just
I only
gonna...
release it when I want to.
Yeah, we don't want listeners anyway. No big deal.
Yep. Fuck that. That shit.
So we'll see how that pans out, actually.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna share it again because it goes for what, 6 days or something.
Yeah.
No's are ahead now.
They've been ahead.
They've been
No's
ahead.
have
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12-4, 14 against.
Well, that was part. I think it was like it started off like a lot of no's, I think, or something.
Yeah, it was. I was just
And
like,
I was
oh,
like,
maybe
fuck
it's
this,
not
I'm
as
gonna
close.
people in on this.
Maybe it's not as close as I thought it was gonna be. That just
started
means
off.
I associate with the people that like most of the people that like the same type of pizza as I, which is good.
That's you just can't argue. It's delicious. Anybody who thinks it's not delicious.
I tell you what, if you put two pizzas down, pepperoni and a Hawaiian pizza, I guarantee you the pepperoni's gone first.
Well, according to our poll, it may not be. Pretty close to being even.
I mean, if you're a pineapple fan, and you're at least guaranteed your own pizza, probably. But
I'm happy with that.
But I'm not ordering that if you're at my house. So.
Well, that's okay. That's why I have my own phone and I can order my own pizza. So suck on that, bitch. Moving on to some actual sports. Get right into NBA playoffs. Conference finals have finally finished up since our last podcast, which was last Tuesday, right?
Yep.
Monday.
Okay, Monday. Yep.
Monday.
Yep.
Monday it was.
These
are all
that
games that
because
have
I
happened
changed.
since then, or
Yeah, that's everything we haven't covered.
Gotcha.
So we had covered 2 and 3 of everything else.
Golden State won Game 4, completed the sweep, dramatic fashion. Portland had a chance to win it. I think Damian Lillard took the last shot for them.
Damian Lillard had a huge game too. He tried.
Just couldn't get it done. Golden State continues their lock on the Western Conference. Nobody can topple them for whatever reason.
What do you mean for whatever reason?
Come on, man. It's got to end sometime. I used to love Golden State, but now they're turning to that team that I don't like anymore.
Because they keep winning?
Yeah, I don't like when teams win all the time.
By the way, Cory, thanks.
If the Eagles turn into the Patriots, I'd probably just be like, nah, I don't really care for the Eagles anymore. Just kidding. That's a lie. I would love it.
Yeah, I know.
I would talk so much shit all the time.
I agree with you when it is a team that you don't care about.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you like Steph Curry, so I thought you'd be happy that he's winning.
I do, but I don't have the same. I think it's mostly because they got so good. Like, right when I started liking them, they got really good, like, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just felt like everybody was like, oh, you're just a bandwagon fan. So I've just kind of been like, nah.
Yeah, fell off of it, yeah.
So I don't really, talk
so
about.
You're on the Trae Young one early in case Atlanta gets good, right?
Yeah, because they're awful right now.
Right.
I can hop right on that one.
All in on Atlanta.
All in on Atlanta. I'm just going to start buying all my Atlanta gear now.
They have good gear, good color schemes.
Yeah, actually, I do like. I like their little.
And you like green. You can.
I like their little highlight. Their highlight green there today. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good call. I should start buying some of that shit. And then we got the Eastern Conference Finals, which I thought was going to turn out to be a pretty good series, and then Well, I guess it's still at 6 games, but I don't know how Toronto just ripped off 3 in a row.
4.
I think we were like waiting for Milwaukee to come through. I think even after Toronto won game 5,
3.
Stefan texted
Well,
out
when
going,
Toronto won game 3,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Bucks will probably take game 4. That was just one game thing, and then
Right.
it'll go back to Toronto. But Toronto won game 4 by a huge margin. Wasn't even close, and I was like, oh, interesting. and then game 5 happened, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yep. And then
always-
game 6, they even had a chance to win it, and they fucked that one up too.
always that.
I mean, Nate Nurse is proven to be a good coach. He made adjustments, switched defensive schemes on Giannis, and changed the series. There was no counter move from the Bucks coach, who I should know. His name's escaping me right now, but
I can't think of what it is. So how do we think the Spurs are feeling right now?
see, I've heard people say that, but what could they do? They had a player who didn't want to be there.
No, I know, but I mean, part of the reason he didn't want to be there is because of the way they handled his whole situation.
Well, they
If
thought
they- maybe-
they thought he was
If they
lying
handle
about
the
his
situation better, he's still there, and maybe they're playing in the finals right now. 'Cause remember, they were actually about to beat Golden State before he
They
went
were
down.
up 20 before he went down in that game.
So I don't think that Kawhi initially wanted out of there. It was just the way they handled his whole injury and everything. That's when he was like, "Nah, I'm out."
I heard there was a little more to it, though. He was supposedly said he felt like an outsider, like Popovich's guys were Ginobili and Parker.
Yeah, but both of them are gone now. Like, he would have been the guy.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, how do you think Toronto's feeling?
And then
I don't want to really go
like-
on into it because I know that's a question coming up, but
what's that?
how do you think Toronto's feeling? I mean, they're good now, but where's their future?
Well, is it really Toronto's that much better, or is it just because of the LeBron lists East?
It's a good question because we saw what a healthy LeBron did in the West.
I mean, they've never been able to make. That was always their downfall. They could never make it through LeBron.
Let's be honest. If there was a healthy LeBron and a healthy Lonzo Ball and they were at number 4 in the West and they were marching, it could be a whole different story in the West. We don't know.
You're trying to say they would have been in Golden State? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think they could have beat the way the playoffs were set up. They wouldn't have had a chance at the Rockets. They might have had a chance to play Golden State in the semis, though, and I don't know if I think they could have done better than the Blazers. Let's go that way. Could have won a game.
Could have won a game. Possibly. What do we think that before the finals start a couple days? Do we think that this is a clean sweep? Do we think Toronto gives? I mean, I think we're all in agreement that we think Golden State's going to win.
I got Golden in 5. I'm giving Toronto a win because I doubted them against the Bucks, and I'm not going to do that again.
Gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, gentleman's sweep.
I don't know. It's
The way Golden State's playing, though, with this free-flowing offense, it's going to be hard. But my only thing
So what if
is we
Durant
saw what Kawhi did to
he's not
Giannis.
going to be there for game 1. They've already announced that, I believe.
Yeah, and what if they win game 1 right out the gate? Because Kawhi's going to be on Klay Thompson, so Steph Curry better ball.
I don't know.
And if Steph starts to ball, I wouldn't be surprised if Nate Nurse switches and says, Kawhi, go on Steph.
Is Kawhi slowly developing into the best player in the league right now?
Well, you said it was a huge gap. And I said not so fast. The gap isn't that big.
No cap.
No cap. No
But I will say this is the first finals in a long time where I remember the two best players in the NBA being in the championship.
Well,
Well,
Do you count
Giannis is
LeBron
gonna
and
win.
Steph as the two best?
no, I'm just saying if Durant even plays, we don't even know
Yeah.
if Durant's gonna play. So you can't
I'm
really.
just saying. Let's say Durant does play. Before that, I can't think of it because the two best were always like on the Western Conference.
But didn't Steph won MVP those a couple of the years when they
Do we
played.
think though that then he was better than Durant?
Yeah, probably.
You thought he was?
MVP.
So what?
So
James Harden won MVP. I don't think he's
anymore. Any
James
other
Harden
top?
won MVP
Oh,
last year. Is he top two?
Huh?
James Harden won MVP last year. Is he in the top two? No. MVP doesn't matter.
Last year he was. This year he's not. Ever evolving carousel.
No.
Westbrook
player.
averages a triple double the last 2 years. Is he the best player? He won it. I mean, we've always talked about this. Is he?
No. The last 5 or 6 years, in my opinion, it's been Durant and LeBron, whether Durant was winning or not.
You don't think Giannis belongs up in that?
No.
Giannis is getting up there, for sure.
But he's not top two.
I mean, it's hard to say. There's probably 5 of them that.
You know what's gonna happen is LeBron's gonna be healthy next year, and I'm gonna be like, never mind. I know who's the best player.
Who's gonna be healthy? Who?
LeBron next year.
Yeah.
When he's healthy, everyone will remember.
Yeah. He'll start dominating again. Yeah.
And Corey's gonna be like, nah, I still think Steph.
Nah, I'm on the Kawhi wagon now.
Why belong? He needs to go back to San Antonio. He's that boring type of good.
He's Tim Duncan.
He's that boring type of great.
He's more exciting than Duncan, at least.
I don't know. Is he really though? He might just be a little more athletic.
He dunked on Giannis that last game. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, but it was still a boring dunk. He just there was nothing flashy about it. He fell. Giannis didn't even fall. Come on.
Giannis did get him back later. He tried to dunk on him again, and Giannis blocked it. Bad.
I think Kawhi just learned all those boring habits, and now he's just gonna be a boring. But that's why he'll never be. That's why he'll never be the greatest. It's not exciting.
That's in your.
That's definitely top 3 attributes I look at.
Steph Curry's not exciting.
What do you mean he's not excited? Dude hits half-court shots. That's exciting.
So does Kawhi almost.
Kawhi does not hit half-court shots.
He's shooting over 58%.
I'm hanging up. Goodbye. You're trying to tell me Kawhi has the same range as Steph. Just go away.
Well, Steph doesn't even have the same range as Damian Lillard, so we can continue this argument.
Steph doesn't have the same range as Damian Lillard? Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Lillard shot the best from 30 feet out. He's the best long-distance shooter.
For this year?
I think for the last few years.
No. Damian Lillard
Steph Curry doesn't
recently
take
started
those
expanding
shots,
his range.
Is one.
Damian Lillard just started expanding his range. Because he realized that nobody's going to give him open shots right on the three-point line. Now he's starting to go back further.
He shoots it better.
You show me the stat where it says that, and I'll believe you. This sounds like another one of those bullshit things where you just make
I'll
up.
look it up. You talk about something else.
And you just try to sell it because you fucking just talk out your ass.
Isn't that what all of us?
You got to be fired up already, man. It ain't even the finals yet.
I feel like I had something to do with him being fired up, and now he's just taking it out on you, Corey.
Yeah.
That pizza topic. Ooh, sensitive subject.
Oh, I love pineapple on my pizza.
It's not a pizza then.
It is a pizza. Get the fuck out of here. Are we talking about NASCAR now?
No, since Book It.
Book It?
Yeah.
Order?
I figured since it's an all NBA Book It,
All right.
NBA Finals Book It. Go ahead, Corey.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I
Keep
thought
going.
you found the stat. All right. So apparently I'm gonna.
Oh, I'm gonna screenshot it and send it to you guys.
All right.
It's not BS.
Just send me the link and I can show it on the screen. All right. So NBA Finals edition of Book It. Obviously, if we agree with it, you're gonna say book it, and if not, you're passing. The first one, I think we kind of touched on earlier. Kevin Durant plays in this year's NBA Finals.
Book it.
This is tough because they haven't really said like how close he is. They just keep ruling him out. They don't like say like he's like close to playing or. I'm gonna pass. Just say it's gonna be a sweep and he's not gonna play.
Watch it really be an Achilles and they're lying the whole time.
Right? I swear to God, when I saw that injury happen, I thought it was an Achilles.
Yeah. If it's that, then he's not playing. If it's the calf and they aren't lying, then he's playing. But I'm going with he's playing.
I'm gonna go with the adage of if you're not practicing, you're not ready to play. And Cousins is also rumored to possibly make the finals at some point. He's practicing. Durant hasn't even been seen on the floor since his injury, so I'm also going to pass on it. With that being said, we kind of touched on this one too. Golden State wins the finals. You booking it?
Okay.
Cory's deep in research.
Because it's out here. I just got to find it.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I believe he already said book it earlier in 5. Gentleman's sweep. I'm going to agree with him and also say it's going to be in 5. Booking as well. This one I did no research in, so this may have already happened. Drake, has he released a song about the Toronto Raptors?
He might have mentioned them in a song, but
he's mentioned them, but he's not made a whole Raptors song.
Well, it's a popular thing to do. I think POD did it for the Chargers. Who else? Nothing's coming off the top of my head, but sometimes musicians, when they're in love with the team so much, they make a song. I feel like Drake is one of those
Mill
guys.
made a hype song for the Eagles.
Yeah, see. Are we booking that Drake releases a song about the Raptors or for the Raptors some way?
Yes.
I'm going to book it. Why not? I feel like you're going to see it in stores soon.
Drake booking a Raptors song? Or doing one?
Yeah.
Booking the Raptors.
I'm passing on that.
And obviously Kawhi only had 1 year with Toronto on his contract after being traded from San Antonio. We've been over that story for when it went down. This is like a 2-part booking because if you don't think Kawhi is coming back, you're not gonna book Toronto. But with that being said, Toronto makes the NBA Finals next year.
Passing. I don't think
I
Kawhi's
pass too. I think the East is just too close. I don't think even with Kawhi back, I think they're all just too close. There's just too many. Nobody's really. I don't think Toronto's like that much better than everybody else in the East.
I'm gonna pass as well. Go Sixers. All right, and the last one, Giannis, rumored to be this year's MVP for the NBA, would make him eligible for the super max contract in the NBA.
Super
max. If he were to get said contract, he would become the highest paid player in the NBA. You think this happens?
Fuck it. Milwaukee's all in on him.
Yeah, I say book it too.
Book it. Unanimous.
He doesn't deserve MVP though.
Wow. What was it? Who's the guy?
I thought the point of basketball was to score.
Probably Damian Lillard deserves MVP, right?
No, James
It's-
Harden when he was scoring 36 points a game and winning games on his own.
Damian Lillard with his unlimited range, apparently.
I already sent it to you. It's already real.
Be interesting to see if Milwaukee is so committed to winning that they get Anthony Davis from New Orleans. That'd be an interesting matchup. Just saying.
What did you say?
Anthony Davis to Milwaukee.
Goes where?
Milwaukee.
No, they can't afford to sign him to the highest paid contract and bring in Anthony Davis.
How do you know?
It's just not going to happen. Going to Boston.
Oh,
Okay.
stop.
You think Giannis is going to stay with the Bucks after they? You don't think he'll look for a little less money and still be the highest paid player somewhere else?
Why is he gonna? No, he's already like. I'm pretty sure he's already said that he wants to stay in Milwaukee. Like he's not.
Well, in that interview, the post-game interview, when they asked about his future, he walked out. So I don't know what he said.
Yeah, but he may have just been more pissed that they lost.
Because people are asking him that about after he just lost.
That's like Cam Newton. Come on.
Like that's the problem is that people don't give these guys like time to like he just literally invested his whole year into this and came up like what 2 games short, and now you're asking about what his future is going to be. Like I would walk off too. Fuck that.
He's at least got one more year with Milwaukee, I believe. So
kudos to Chris Middleton for finishing off the interview though. At least he answered the question.
He just. All right.
Just like looks like. I guess I'll answer it.
Sure. That is Book It this week.
Moving on to NASCAR. Cory's little NASCAR review. Charlotte. How'd Charlotte go?
Good. I watched the whole thing 5 hours
There,
of
right?
my life.
There for the live thing?
Wish. I wanted to.
You couldn't book tickets.
I could have had tickets. I knew someone who had tickets, and she would give them to me, but Samantha works weekends. I'll probably never be able to go to a race.
All right. Just got to dump them off on your parents.
Probably could. 5-hour race, though. I don't know if I want... I'd need someone to go with me.
Yeah.
That'd be boring by myself.
Definitely would, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely got to have somebody there with you.
Like I just said, 5-hour race, longest race of the year.
I mean, you could send us pictures of all the people watching and you get done there, I'm sure.
Yeah. They do 600 miles, 400 laps. There was a lot of issues with people's vehicles early. The most cautions ever, so it took extra long. There were some wrecks at the end, made it a little bit exciting. I could have just skipped the first 4 hours and watched the last.
Story of my NASCAR watching life.
Like I said, it got interesting. There was 3 cars out there that were better than everyone's. That would be Martin Truex Jr., Ricky Stenhouse, and Denny Hamlin. Unfortunately for me, Denny Hamlin decided on the last lap that he just put 4 tires on his car because he figured I got the best car. If I put 4 new tires on it, I'll be able to pass everybody. So he does that, and then he guns it at the end, and he crashes into the wall. So he goes from 6th place all the way to 17th. Good move, Denny Hamlin. Thank you. I should have crushed Jimmy Johnson and Menard, and you effed me.
The story of Cory's NASCAR season. Wasn't that one of your tier 1s too?
Yeah, 29 from a tier 1, not good.
It's better than 1.
You want a third? I mean, he almost got a 30, but I want 35-ish.
Yeah. Well, it's better than getting a 1 from him.
Yeah, it's better than a 1. But that's a race that he's good at. I should have had more. But you went with the sure thing. Jimmy's very good at Charlotte. He was really steady all race. And he got you 32. Paul Menard was doing well early. And then the nighttime hit, and he fell right to the back.
Slip slide in a way.
So having said that, Martin Truex Jr. did win Charlotte. He's won 3 out of the last 5 races. He's red hot. Going into Pocono, the famous triangle, the only race with only 3 turns. Very interesting. It's also a 2-mile track, so it's a little longer.
I believe NASCAR driver averages calls it a long intermediate track.
A long intermediate.
Yeah.
I didn't win, so Kevin, take it away. Who'd you decide to take for Pocono? You had first pick.
So obviously a lot of the top drivers on NASCAR driveraverages.com or driveraverages.com, I should say, I've already taken, so I had to be a little more selective in my choices. I have one guy that could have been better, that's Suarez, but I'm saving him for Watkins Glen because he's a road driver.
He's an open wheel driver. He'll do good on a road course.
I believe that's his best course. So
I would think Sonoma must be pretty good for him too, because we got a road course coming up here.
Yeah, I didn't see him too well, finishing wise in Sonoma. I think maybe I just overlooked it and saw Watkins Glen and was like, all right, cool, I'll save him for then.
Yeah.
So then I just went down the line, and Austin Dillon didn't do too well in Charlotte, so I feel like he's gonna bounce back. He will race, I believe. The last news.
He was doing well in Charlotte. He got caught up in a wreck.
So yeah, I guess he got burned in the wreck.
Yeah. He's
had a consistent season, and now I'm just trying to get 30s. So
good luck. They're getting hard to come by.
The last 2 weeks, I'm 1 for 2 for that. So looking to make it 2 for 3.
This is like a record for Stefan. He hasn't hit 30 in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So
he's crumbling under the pressure.
Austin Dillon. I'm going with Will Byron. He's been racing well. He's pretty decent at Pocono. And then Stefan. What's the reasoning behind your pick? Go ahead.
I didn't even know he was still in the league. I thought he retired.
What do you mean? Cory just used him not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did well.
Out of him. Well, my reasoning is I've got a 35-point lead here. So as long as I don't crash with Newman, I should be holding on to my 30-something point lead. So
he's been racing well too. He looked good at Charlotte. He actually went for the win.
Did he?
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of, because it was Memorial Day, so everyone had a soldier that passed away in battle on their car, their name on the car, and they were racing in honor of them.
Yeah.
And he had met the family and the daughter of the person he was racing for, and they showed some of the footage, and it brought him to tears. So he goes, I promise you, I will at least try to win tonight.
Right.
And he was in position with 1 lap to go. He could have pitted and gotten 4 tires, but that would have put him way in the back, and he's just not good enough driver, I don't think, to work his way to the front.
Yeah.
So he had 2 good tires on his car, and he was in first because they all pitted to put the 4 on, and he just stayed out there. So he was leading with 1 lap to go to try to win that race. So he did his best for that girl.
Yeah.
I think he ended up doing decent that race. He didn't fall that far back. But that was pretty cool of him to really actually stay to his word and gun for it. He did well. That's all I got on NASCAR.
Is he second guessing his pick? That's what I want to know. I see feeling the pressure.
Who's second guessing their pick?
You.
I'm not second guessing it.
I feel like you're feeling the pressure.
No, I'm not
turning into Ben.
By the way, I think Brad Keselowski's going to win this race. Just throwing that out.
Ryan Newman finished 16th, by the way.
Cory's guess.
Oh man, I was a race off on Truex. God damn.
Yeah. Truex is every other. So this week, stay away, and someone take him next week.
Would have had my 52-pointer. Man, it's rough.
I'm gonna take him next week. No, I'm not.
We know you don't like to take
Right
that
now,
many
I'm
good
just trying to
drivers.
maintain. I haven't lost my lead. I still got a comfortable lead.
And according to where I rank drivers, you've only used one more than me as far as tier ones.
Yeah.
It's kind of pissing me off.
Yeah, I know. I still got Denny Hamlin. I still got
Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott.
I thought about
got
taking him
Keselowski?
this week, and I was just like,
Oh, I didn't use Keselowski yet. No.
Yeah. You have you used 5. You have 5 left.
Did I use Joey Logano? I used Joey Logano.
There's another one. There's 4 of them.
Jimmy Johnson, you count him as one?
Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drop Jimmy out of my top tier unless he doesn't win a race this year. Then it's 2 years in a row and he's done.
that's enough for you.
Yeah. I'll have to move another young kid up that has been doing well, but honestly, it's been the same old people.
Right. Wait,
so far.
Down to 9 top tier.
It might be.
I'm just waiting until somebody gets a little bit closer to me, and then I'm going to have to pull out a big gun.
That Alex Bowman out of the Young Guns is very, very good. He's like a little bit away of starting to win races on the regular.
Right. Yeah. We'll see. I keep waiting. I get concerned every week, especially when I use these not upper echelon drivers.
Well, all 3 of us are using what I would call mid tiers this week.
Right. Yeah. So this week I shouldn't. I was actually worried this past week because you guys were using your names.
I mean, you came in last like expected, but we didn't gain that much.
No. I was very pleased with how that resulted.
I'm just very pleased I didn't get another one.
I think I still have a good chance at wire to wire first place.
Wire to wire.
I got it.
I don't consider a tie wire to wire.
Yes, a tie is considered wire to wire. I still had a share. So some NFL news. This was this past weekend, right? That
Yeah, this was at the Bucks game.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Saturday, I think it was, right?
I got the clip up.
Aaron Rodgers had a poor attempt at chugging a beer. Let's just be happy that he can play football better than he can chug a beer.
From your Green Bay Packers.
All right, I'll mute it because it's got music going. David Bakhtiari.
David Bakhtiari goes to town.
Yeah, he goes to the Bucks games quite often because he's seen on camera doing this multiple different games. And Aaron Rodgers gets pointed at and fails.
Stefan just fell asleep for a second.
And then he goes back for number 3. I just like how he's like, oh, me? Like, I want him on my... He's also, of course, got that legendary 69 number, too. Is his number, so he's that guy. I believe it's his girlfriend or wife that's next to him there, too. And I was watching other clips of him doing this, and she joined in with wine. So it's just like, what is going on at these games? Obviously, Milwaukee, known for beer, and definitely showing.
You think that was Milwaukee's best he was drinking?
I don't know. It went down way too easy, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
But that asks question: are you better than an NFL quarterback?
I think me and Cory could possibly challenge Aaron Rodgers. Kevin, I've seen you chug.
I'm ready to go.
And I'm gonna say no, you couldn't be.
I'm ready to go. I've been craving this. You know,
Told him if I knew that was what the question was about, I would have brought one, but I don't have a beer in hand right now.
This was my only beer, and I already drank it.
Let me. I'll do the
So it's on
solo
you.
view.
Kevin's
Alright.
challenging Aaron Rodgers right now.
All right, Aaron. I chose this glass too, because it's my Buccaneers glass. So cheers to you, Aaron. Maybe one day you'll be.
So what's the challenge? That you can get through the whole beer?
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta finish this without stopping.
Without stopping.
I don't know if I'm ready for this. I apparently not that thirsty. All right, here we go. Who me? Let's go. Damn it! So close.
You had it.
So close.
You had it. What'd you stop for?
Oh, God.
What'd you stop for?
You couldn't handle the burn.
Couldn't handle the pressure. I understand your pain now, Aaron.
So I was right on that one. Kevin could not beat Aaron Rodgers.
Someday. I've never
Next
been a
week,
beer.
maybe I'll give it a try.
I'll try again next week. That was just a warm-up beer.
Oh, that was your warm up.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me go get.
Next week I'll be prepared then.
Oh, jeez.
I feel like I let the fans down.
I'm disappointed. You let me down.
My family. I'm sorry.
Most importantly, I think you let your future child down.
Well, that would be part of my family. So yeah.
Well, he's not born yet, so is he? I mean,
Speaking of future child, he has 6 outfits already. 2 of them are Syracuse orange.
ugh.
So already I'm feeling competition for orange clothing in the household. So
Do I need to start his Gonzaga collection?
if you want to see something burned,
Come on, you can't do that. He lives in Washington. He's gonna be a Gonzaga fan.
He's going to be a Huskies fan.
he's going to be a Husky fan, yeah.
No, he's not gonna be a
Washington's going to be
Huskies aren't
number
good.
top 5 team in the year.
They're not gonna be good.
Well, according to Cory's math, they'll be phenomenal.
We all know Cory's math is subpar at best.
If Duke can do it, so can Washington.
I can't even answer that question.
2 top 5 recruits and another top 100.
Yeah,
So anyways,
that's not the
Cory
Duke
wants to
team.
sign with a contender.
All right, so they didn't get 1 and 2, okay?
They did get 5 in the top 10.
Yeah, you lose, man. Sorry.
Yeah, but they got 2 in the top 5.
It's good.
And Cory says they're still not going to make the tournament, just like they didn't make it last year.
They made it last
So
year.
it did. I know. Just another one of your fake news facts that you like to throw out.
I didn't
I
say
had-
they didn't make it.
You did.
You
though.
did.
I
You
think
originally
I
said that.
think
Yeah.
you guys confused the wording.
No.
They're not going to make the tournament again this year, is what you said,
Yep.
which would imply they didn't make it this year.
They don't have a good enough resume to get. They won't have a good enough resume to get in the big tourney, especially since they won't win the conference tournament again. They didn't win it last year.
And they got
The
in,
conference
so
tournament
obviously.
was won by Oregon.
Right. But you said
So
they weren't.
I
gonna-
worded it right.
Huh? No, you didn't.
How is that not worded right?
Because they didn't win and still got in.
They still won't have a good enough resume to get in the big tourney. Meaning, I don't think their resume will be good enough to get in this year.
But you said they still won't have a good enough, which means that they didn't have a good enough resume to get in last year.
The reason that says that's why it's not worded right. I should have put you're right, they will be fun to watch, but they still won't have a good enough resume to get in the big tourney. But I didn't put that because I'm replying to they should be fun to watch for sure.
But by you saying they still won't means that they didn't have a good enough resume before. All you do is just say they won't.
I didn't word it. I didn't word it right.
Still out, and just say they won't have a good enough resume.
Yeah, because I know who they played North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, and lost. So I know who they played. I know they were in.
You didn't know who they played. I'm not arguing that. We're arguing the fact that you thought they didn't make it in last year, but they did make it.
But if I know they played North Carolina and lost, then I know they made it in.
I mean, they almost beat the great Gonzaga team.
Pretty sure they beat Utah State, which I got wrong.
Yeah.
And then they lost to North Carolina by a lot.
Mm-hmm. Either way, you need to just get your facts straight, man.
You need to go to English class.
Let's see here. Washington right now, the only thing that's coming up schedule-wise is they play Tennessee. So,
Killian Tilly is coming back this year, so they'll still be better than Washington.
We'll find out. They usually play each other.
I don't know, man. I'm nervous for Gonzaga this year. Last year I was all in. I thought they might win it, but they didn't.
Nervous.
They had a chance to. They fucked up against Texas A&M. This year is definitely not as stacked as it was.
Versus Texas Tech, right? Not
Texas Tech. That's what I meant. Yeah. This year, I mean, they're not as stacked, but I think they still have a good team. They're doing what they did before. They reload with transfers.
Is Norville gone, or is he coming back?
He says he's gone. He's not. I think he's signing an agent. He's not coming. He said he has no intent to return. That's what he said on mine, I guess.
That hurts.
Yeah, because he would have been a big part, but they got like a big guard transfer that kind of replaces that for him. And then they've got one of the top recruiting classes coming in this year, so yeah, they'll be all right. I don't think they'll be at the level they were last year, but I think they'll still contend.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they are. They play the transfer market pretty good.
They do. They'll get some player that I've never heard of that plays well.
Yeah. So I think they'll be fine.
I'm surprised to see Rui's draft stock fall. I don't know what he did wrong. He was like lottery all year, and now he's.
He didn't go to the combine. I know that. Maybe they docked him for that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of.
He's just got such good size.
Yeah. He definitely needs to stretch his game out more. I mean, he's got a decent shot, but he can obviously have a better shot.
Yeah. I think that'll come, though. I think he's talented enough to...
I don't think he'll be... Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think he's going to take John Stockton for being the best NBA Gonzaga player, but...
No, definitely not. No. I don't know if anybody will ever. John Stockton.
You never know.
I don't think anybody ever will.
Well,
although they are getting some pretty crazy recruits now.
So. I was going to say, I mean, is Stockton a top 20 player all time? Maybe not. That's what I mean. Like, it could be feasible for Gonzaga to get a top 20 player all time.
I mean, the all-time assist leader, yeah, I would say he's top 20.
Yeah, and number 2 in steals.
Gotta be top 20. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Saw that Syracuse just landed some 2020 recruit.
Yep. I heard that too.
Woody Newton. I have no idea who that is.
Did I tell you guys the lady that ran my automated test for BMW? Her brother played in the NFL, and she told all of us that it's rigged. That he told her that it's rigged, and she knows for a fact the NFL's rigged, which is what I've been telling you guys. So.
Not rigged, dude. Just because. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I was allowed to bring phones in. I would have recorded this conversation, but you aren't allowed to have phones in the BMW premise.
Well, you believe everything that people tell you now?
I just knew it was rigged. I didn't need her to tell me.
So what'd she say was rigged? How was it rigged? Explain.
She said they predetermine who's going to win for the season.
No. If that was the case, why would any of them go out there and play? Like,
the owners know. It's not the players. The owners know.
So how?
They run it because they own the refs. It's all. I don't know what you don't get. It's all rigged.
Okay, but you said that she knew somebody that played in the NFL.
Her brother played 9 seasons. He was a defensive end for Clemson.
Okay. Let's stop right there. Stop. Now you say that the players don't know who's going to win, but the owners do.
She said the owners have it rigged. Yeah.
No, I don't believe it. Sorry. Doesn't matter. You can have.
She said to prove that she's right. She said she got information that the Carolina Panthers are going to make the Super Bowl in the next in one of the next 2 years.
What the hell did I walk in on?
That's just
what if they do?
If it's so fucking rigged, like you say it is, she should know exactly when they're going to be in the Super Bowl. Why is it the next 2 years?
I don't know why.
Because they're going to be garbage this year.
Because it's not rigged. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. She's talking about her ass. That's what she's doing.
We'll see. If Carolina really makes it to the Super Bowl this year or next year, then I'm believing.
What do you want to bet right now? Carolina Panthers will not be in the Super Bowl the next 2 years. I'll bet anything.
I'll bet you $100.
$100.
Ooh.
All right.
I like some of that action.
Which side you want it on?
I'll give you 50. If you want to split it, Kevin, I'll give you each 50.
That it's rigged, or that it's not rigged. That Carolina's not making.
Carolina won't be there the next 2 years.
Ah.
All right. Well, we'll each do 50, and Cory will do 100.
Okay.
Mark it down on your notepad.
Yeah.
So Cory's paying us all 100, and we only got to pay Cory 50. Is that how that works?
Yeah. He's gonna pay us both 50, or we give him.
It's fine.
Each 50.
Or you give me 50.
Yeah.
Right.
So the most we can win is 50. Cory can win 100. I feel like I'm missing out on something.
I feel like that's like I missed the whole conversation, and I just heard that she told me. Where did you meet this friend?
This lady ran the automated testing for BMW because I applied there.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take this test that is an automation of me putting a car together. But anyways, she's the person that runs the test. Her brother, she wouldn't tell us who he was. But
so it's already a lie.
Well, you could figure it out because he's 40 years old. He's played defensive end for Clemson. He did play for the Carolina Panthers. She also said he injured Ole Miss's quarterback, broke his leg. So I'd have to do the research on that. So she gave you enough information to figure out who it is. But she said that he played there for 9 seasons and they had owners and stuff over at their houses, and she says it's all rigged. I hope you know that professional sports is rigged. And everyone started laughing except me, of course. I'm like, I thought it was rigged too. I know it is.
See, here's where you get.
Someone goes, "How can you tell us it's rigged?" She goes, "I bet you Carolina wins." Or she didn't say win. She says, "I bet you Carolina gets to the Super Bowl next 2 years, one of the next 2 years." And they both go, "Okay," or everyone. 2 of the guys said, "Okay."
See, if it doesn't happen, do you still think things are rigged though?
I still think it is because there was others. Well, that's not even rigged. That's just the production of it all is fake, which I knew that too. Because she was saying when her and her mother went, they'd be taken underground under the stadium, which I know they have those. That's not a secret. And then they'd plop them up in certain sections, and every time before a timeout, there'll be someone who works for the NFL that'll run to them and be like, okay, you're going to be on camera. And a whole makeup team will do their makeup and fix them all up. And then the camera shoots to them so they look good while they're cheering and everything. Said that happens. That's 100% real.
Yeah, that's.
He goes, the whole production of everything is fake. And I said, I know that too. That's not a surprise.
It's not
you can't
fake.
fake stuff in the field. You can't fake the stuff in the field. I'm sorry. None of that has to do with the result of the field.
She said the owners rig it. It's because the referees are under they pay them.
Okay, but you
so
can
the
only
refs can call whatever they want, which is what I've been saying.
But
I
you
never said
can,
the players are taking dives. I don't believe that.
But you can only do so much with the refs. Like they can't completely dictate a game.
They can dictate some, and then your record. One game in the NFL is a big difference. 9-7 is a big difference than 10-6.
I'm not saying that it isn't, but then you got to go to the playoffs, and then.
I just find it kind of sketchy when someone that lives in Carolina is picking the Carolina Panthers as.
We'll see. I guess we'll see.
We will see.
Okay.
I guess Cory's.
Because I don't think Carolina's particularly good, so I don't get how all of a sudden they're going to make the Super Bowl in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
By rigging, of course.
Well,
I guess Cory's Super Bowl prediction's going to be New England versus Carolina this year, so.
And then next year too.
Yeah. See, here's my theory about the whole sports rigging. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't want New England winning all the time. What would that benefit them?
Because it's the Boston market. It's a huge market. It always benefits a big market.
Yeah, but why would you have
bigger market in New York or LA?
Yeah, why would you have the Jets and Giants?
Oh, did LA not make the Super Bowl? Pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
So
and was it the highest rated Super Bowl? No, it wasn't. It was one of the lowest. So
you got your two big markets in. It's no surprise to me. Boston versus New York. No surprise to me.
It wasn't Boston versus New York.
When the Giants versus Patriots. They give Patriots good matchups. Except Seattle. That one's a little weird.
That year, they kind of fell asleep at the wheel. They didn't make the prediction.
Maybe they said we need to give Pete Carroll a shot at it. I don't know how the rigging works. I'm not in their houses.
Because there is no rigging. That's how it works.
I find this more hard to believe just based on I don't think the owners go to players' houses. I don't think they're like that. I don't know. I feel like, especially that owner. I
don't know about owners. I know that the owner goes over to Marvin Lewis's house and they all had cookouts as a whole team together. So the owner does go to people's houses.
Yeah, some, but for Carolina. Wasn't he racist or sexual assaulting someone or something?
Yeah, but why couldn't he go to someone's house? What does that have to do with anything?
I just feel like he'd be too hoity-toity.
The big news here is him trying to move him out of Charlotte into Rock Hill, South Carolina. No one's happy about that.
Why is he trying to move to South Carolina?
Way bigger tax brackets in South Carolina. It's a lot cheaper to own stuff and pay your rental properties or whatever it is, your taxes.
How far away from Charlotte is it?
Rock Hill, maybe 40 miles.
It's not that bad. Stop.
Saves him $8 million a year, he said.
Be worth
Which
the
probably
move.
to him isn't a whole lot. It sounds like a shitload to us, but
Be worth the move. Look at what the Braves did. They don't play in Atlanta anymore. They play like 40 miles away.
Yeah.
Screwed over a town because they were like,
I just drove by
you.
the stadium, though, today, the Bank of America Stadium. It's pretty nice. I don't know what you need a new stadium for.
Because NFL owners always
fairly
need.
new. Like, why are they?
I don't know.
Because
It's
you
the owner.
always need
It's
the
the owner
newest
making
stadium.
threats, basically, to Charlotte. Give me tax breaks or I'm moving the team.
Well, that's why all the teams move because they get these big tax breaks to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you're gonna foot the bill for the new stadium? Okay.
Right? Yeah.
That's just like Milwaukee. Before the new owners came and took up the Bucks, they were threatening to leave
Yep.
because they wanted a new stadium. New owner came in, built them a new stadium. I don't know if they got tax dollars for it or not, but probably they did. I've never heard of a sports team lately, professionally wise at least, that didn't get tax money. I never understood that.
Because they're bringing in business.
Are they though? Like, look at Tampa Bay or Miami. Some of these other markets. Like, what businesses are they bringing in?
They're providing jobs.
That's about it.
Kinda. I mean, a lot of the workers only work that one game.
Well, it's more work than what they had before that one game. Either way, NFL is not rigged. Moving on to Gerald McCoy wanting to sign with a contender.
Guess he should go to Carolina.
That would be a terrible choice. On his
That would
part.
be the ultimate middle finger, though, to Tampa Bay. It's just like when Wark Dunn went to the Falcons.
Isn't there a rumor he wants to go to Atlanta, though, which is kind of the ultimate middle finger?
They're all about ultimate because Atlanta, I don't know. I'm not
Well, why is
convinced.
Carolina
Atlanta's-
the ultimate middle finger?
Well, either team would really be. I mean,
Yeah.
just because you face them twice. But I wouldn't put like Atlanta above Carolina.
I mean, realistically, New Orleans is the only team that has a chance to actually win one, so that would probably be the ultimate middle
Yeah.
finger.
The penultimate.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that think Atlanta does now that Dirk Cutter's under the decision making on offense.
They
I
still
would
have
vote for Tampa.
mediocre Matt Ryan.
Mediocre, man.
Video. You're just mad at him fantasy wise.
Yeah, I am mad at fantasy.
He's
Get to
not
the
a
real
fantasy
bottom of
quarterback.
the mediocre comment.
Anytime I ever draft that fucker, he never does well. Any other year, he's fucking balling out. Done with his bitch ass.
Bitches.
Him and fucking who's the guy who's on the Texans? Lamar Miller. Done with him too.
Well, Lamar Miller truly is about mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Done with
Matt
him.
Ryan being a season MVP, that's something Lamar Miller will never sniff. So
Yeah, well, Matt Ryan should have never sniffed it either. Bum ass bitch.
Bum ass bitch.
Moving on to Marvin Lewis getting a new job. He
Yeah.
now says that they're trying to win national championships at Arizona State.
looks like they're headed that way, huh? Him and Herm Edwards.
Well, they gotta
So,
get through Syracuse, so gotta have a good defensive guy.
Is that what he's? Is he a defensive coordinator there?
Probably. I mean,
Yeah,
what else would
I
he be?
mean, I'm sure everyone assumes so.
I mean, what else would he be? He's not gonna be the offensive genius on that
Oh.
team.
I don't know if they hired him as a head coach. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Arizona State.
Herm
Herm
Edwards is the head coach.
Oh,
They're running
Just
it more
adding
like an
Marvin Lewis to the
NFL team,
team.
they said.
maybe Herm Edwards is out after 1 or 2 years or whatever he was there for.
You play to win the game.
I actually don't think it's a bad move for
No.
Marvin Lewis to be the defensive
Oh, you
coordinator
said
for
like him
Arizona
as a defensive coordinator. You just don't like him as a head coach, right?
Right. I mean, to be fair, like I said before, if your strength is something and then you go to a team and you aren't able to perform that strength, you deserve to be fired. But Marvin Lewis did give the Bengals a good defense. That was never their problem.
All
Their
right.
problem is their offense struggles. That's why I thought Rex Ryan deserved to be fired. Because his strength was his defense. In the first few years, yeah, they were good. And then it dropped off. And then he got fired. Because he should be. If you can't do what you're good at, you should be fired.
But to also be fair, when you take over as head coach, you have more to worry about than just that one specific thing.
Yeah, you're taking away from what you're good at.
You
Pretty
should
much.
still be able to manage it. That's what you get
I
paid
feel
for.
like coordinators are different than head coaches. I feel like some coaches just don't have that head coaching gene because you got to motivate the whole team, and you can't focus on one area. You can't like have your style be the whole team because there's no way you're going to be good at both offense and defense. There's just too much information at you. And if you don't hire the right guys, you're not going to get the right system.
That argument is good for everyone except Bill Belichick because he has a constant rotation of people and they still compete. So who's running the helm on everything?
Because he's good at getting the people, the right guys in the system he wants to run. I think
He must be amazing because no other
Yeah.
NFL team can figure out how to have that kind of rotation.
It's kind of it's like I'm going through business classes all over again here. If you don't hire the right people, then you're not going to get the right result. And I feel like Belichick is very particular about his candidates on who he wants hired. Who was the guy he faced off against that took over as NFL head coach in the playoffs?
Matt Patricia.
Yeah, there you go. Well, no, isn't there another one?
Well, yeah, there's a few of them, but Patricia's on the Lions.
Well, isn't there one in the playoffs he ran into though?
Who'd they play? Who's the Colts head coach right now? They didn't play them. They played the Chiefs, who's
Chiefs.
not Andy Reid.
You read.
The Chargers, maybe.
Oh, Bill O'Brien was a Patriots. Did they play the Houston Texans?
I don't think they played 3 rounds this year. Because I think they got the bye. They played the Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers.
I
I don't know who he played then. I know they played the Lions and didn't they lose? And then everyone chalked it up to, it must be Matt Patricia knowing the team.
I think Patricia was the first former Belichick coach.
Or was it Tennessee? Because Vrabel is the coach of the Titans.
Sorry, I'm just making sure. So Anthony Lynn is the head coach for the Chargers, and he's never been on New England, so that counts him out.
I think it was the regular season. Belichick might have lost to both of them. He might have lost to Vrabel and Patricia.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, because I remember seeing that stat how he'd never lost, and then I thought it was like a close game or something. But yeah. Where did McVay come from anyway?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe it was like, did Sean McVay? That's back then, but he's never played or never coached under Belichick.
Let's do a quick Wikipedia. He was from the Redskins, so. Yeah, that's weird. McVay, assistant wide receivers coach. If only they had known. For Tampa Bay, that's how he started his coaching career, and then he worked his way up with the Redskins, basically.
His last job before becoming a head coach was assistant wide receivers coach.
No, that was his
he worked
first
his
job.
way through the Redskins program, he said.
Yeah, he started at Tampa Bay as the assistant wide receivers coach.
Oh, gotcha.
Went to be the quality control and wide receivers coach for the Florida Tuskers, and then Redskins tight ends coach, assistant tight ends coach, excuse me, then became tight ends coach, and then offensive coordinator after that.
It all makes sense now.
Does it?
No.
No. He's got a Super Bowl appearance on his coaching record now. I feel confident, though, in ASU's chances of at least doing better than what they have been. I think they finished 7-5 last year, so let's take a gander.
Who doing better?
Arizona State. The problem with typing in ASU schedule as I get my own schedule. Thanks, Google.
Just give up on your alma mater there.
Oh, this schedule, jeez. Kent State, Sacramento State. Then they get Michigan State, Colorado, California, Washington State, Utah, UCLA, USC, Arizona, Oregon State, Oregon, and then Arizona. So they have a decent, 2 games to warm up with before they finally have to actually play.
That's kind of how everybody's scheduled, isn't it?
Let's see here, 2. They beat Michigan State last year. Michigan State is one of those teams where I feel like this year, I don't know. Let's not get into college football right now.
It's another podcast.
It's a deep
Another
dive.
The legendary Bart Starr has also passed away recently at the age of 85.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Bart Starr.
You
He
know,
won the very first Super Bowl, I believe, right?
First two.
He actually is before there was a guy named Tom Brady. He was the only person who had 5 rings because he won the 3 NFL championships in a row before they were called Super Bowls. Then he won 2 Super Bowls. Also famously won the Ice Bowl. It was -48 in Green Bay, and they beat the Cowboys on a 1-yard run-in by Bart Starr.
Not that impressive.
Bart Starr also has the highest win percentage in playoff history, 90%. Pretty good.
What's Brady at now?
I don't know, but Bart Starr went 10-1. Brady's probably lost more than 1 game.
Yeah, we can still get to 90%.
Yeah, but he's not 90%.
I feel like so let's see here. I'm guessing, doing quick math off the top of my head, he played 20-something years before I was even born. And you never really hear about players like these until something like this happens. And if you do, it's usually record-setting reasons why, they're trying. Some players trying to beat this record.
He's in the old school where everyone thought that those guys didn't really throw the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
Bart Starr's career postseason rating is 104.8, highest in history. Kurt Warner's number 2.
And it's always interesting to hear whose lives in the NFL right now he's affected.
Right.
Who's coaching? Obviously he's not affecting too many players' lives directly, other than through said coaches. But I mean, it's just interesting to hear some of their stories that they talk about these type of players. And obviously he was special, winning the first 2 Super Bowl MVPs to start. I mean, it's a little bit of a blow for the NFL starting their 100th season promotions.
I know, with kind of the face of the NFL at one point to start off. It was Bart Starr. Who kind of, like you said, gets overlooked. There's another interesting stat. They're saying, imagine this mind-blowing accuracy. 213 times he threw the ball in the Super Bowl, only 3 interceptions.
I don't even care if they were all 1-yard passes. That's still amazing. I can't do that in Madden.
The guy was good, and he doesn't get talked about as being one of the best ever, which is kind of sad. But it's probably because he is at the very beginning, so people don't really remember him.
Is Namath now the oldest MVP then? Did he win Super Bowl III MVP?
Probably.
Do the quick research here. But yeah.
I have no idea.
R.I.P. Bart Starr.
Yeah. Just wanted to mention him because no one does.
Also passing away, I believe at the age of 65, Bill Buckner. Known mainly for, I think, his blunder in the World Series that kept Boston from winning it, and the Mets ended up winning instead. And some of the things he's had to put up with up until Boston finally actually winning, definitely puts in perspective the term fan and how it actually stands for fanatic and how crazy people can be. Like, I mean, who was the Cubs guy that caught the foul ball?
Yeah.
From Abreu.
Yeah, he had to change his name and everything.
Yeah. And I think I'm not saying I'm not guilty of it, because I am a fan of sports and stuff, and I get caught up in the moment, and I get it. I was part of the crowd that booed off the cheerleaders from the Syracuse-UConn game when they were getting blown out by 30 points, and they tried starting a cheer. I mean, they're just trying to do their normal thing. It's part of the sequence, but, you know, sometimes you just get caught up in the moment, and unfortunately for Buckner, he got caught up in the wrong type of situation for years. I mean, until, 2003, I believe, is when Boston finally won one?
Yeah.
Bro, can we just real quick talk about how the Celtics are going to be the one team that fucks up the Boston sweep?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
why you
like
think
could Boston be having a better year?
I know.
Like, it's just literally...
What are we, 60 days without a parade right now? Heartbreaking in Boston. What is it? I think it's like 12 or 13 championships. If you grew up in if you were born in like 2001, you've witnessed them all, or 2003, I think. I'm not going to... It's ridiculous. Yeah, Joe Namath is the oldest living now.
All right, Corey, let's hear your yikes.
Yikes.
Let's bring it home.
Bring it home.
Bring it home.
My first yikes I touched on a little bit before. Yikes to Goodyear and not having your tires under control. There was 13 blown tires in the first 100 laps at the Coca-Cola 600. And it was all wearing issues. Nothing like crazy, like pops out of nowhere. The tires were wearing down too fast. They've never seen that happen before. I don't know what was wrong. I'm not a tire expert, but Goodyear, get your shit together. Caused for a very long Charlotte 600. Too long. Number 2, Serena and her outfit at the French Open. Yikes. Showing a little midriff. Not allowed. She's in trouble. They're asking her to remove her outfit. She's going to have to wear something else.
Hold on. Hold on. That's a yikes. I got to see this. Serena.
Well, she also just had a kid, so you'll know why it's a yikes.
Williams, French Open 2019, right? Oh, look at that outfit. I could have guessed. Where are we? Come on. What the hell is she wearing there?
Yeah, that's like a jacket for practice. That's what she actually wore.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not that obtrusive.
It's like fishnet.
Yeah, whatever. It's not like... I don't know. Here, let's share this to the world.
I think we need more of that.
Yeah, you want higher ratings, you know? Show a little more skin. That's what the FIFA ex-president said about women's soccer.
Well, tennis is a gentleman's game. You got to wear the appropriate attire. Get off the court.
I say turn into like the LFL.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Why
isn't there a tennis?
All right. Out of all of Serena Williams' outfits, this may be okay. It's a little risque with the belly, whatever. But the one I did not appreciate was the bodysuit.
Last year's Black Panther suit. I think she wore it at the French as well, which is why they're pissed.
That was a yikes. This is whatever. This is like a day at the beach, whatever.
Yeah, but you're playing professional tennis.
So you see volleyball, beach volleyball.
Volleyball. You're on the beach.
Listen, if that was Anna Kournikova in her prime,
Sex sells. Come on.
All right, number 3, yikes. Conor McGregor, you're starting your supposed comeback, and you already may have broken your hand in sparring. You're seen in a cast. Yikes. I think it's time for you to leave it alone. You haven't been working out as much, and you're getting older. So just enjoy retirement, man. What are you doing?
make a comeback. I believe in you.
He's going to lose to Khabib again, so pick someone else.
He's not going to fight Khabib next.
Nate Diaz trilogy?
Hey, Diaz.
We'll see what happens with this next Diaz fight.
Number 4, yikes, RJ Hampton for ruining your career. You're a moron. You were the number 5 overall prospect coming out of high school, going into college basketball. You decided to sign a deal with New Zealand, a professional team. It has never worked, and you're just going to join the statistic. You will not get into the NBA and be good, so it's over for you.
Brandon Jennings.
He was good for a year, 2 years maybe.
Still made it to the NBA, didn't he?
He sucked.
So it did work.
It didn't work.
His goal, he never said
How was his shoe deal?
He never said his goal was to be the best in the NBA. His goal is to make it to the NBA.
How was his shoe deal?
This kid thinks that it's better experience to go over and play professionally in New Zealand. New Zealand, who has not a good league.
It's actually the Australian League. He's playing for New Zealand, though. But, yeah, I don't understand why he chose the Australian League. I don't hear if anybody ever going to the Australian League. I feel like he could have gotten
because he probably has an in with Sean Marion, who's the coach of the New Zealand Breakers.
Oh, there you go. And why the fuck wouldn't you want to go get paid?
It doesn't. I think it's an awful idea.
If you're already one of the top recruits, it's not going to change anything. You're not going.
Brandon Jennings was number 1 coming out of high school. He got drafted 10th.
Okay, how many people have been number 1 coming out of high school and not gotten drafted number 1 overall? It's been
Zion's going to do it 1-1.
Okay, so wow, I'm glad you figured out the one.
Who was before him?
What do you want to say? LeBron James also? Cool, you got 2. All right. Let's talk about some of the greatest players, why don't you? Let's not talk about all the off years that there are.
Let's be honest. The NBA just needs to fix their policy. Get rid of the one and done.
Which they're going to do.
Yeah, Silver's talking about doing it. I'm just saying this strategy doesn't work. Sorry for the kid. You ruined your life.
He didn't ruin his life.
He just didn't get the job done, Corey. Jesus.
Good luck. Good luck.
Was that your last one or you got one more?
He's got one more.
Oh, yeah. Yikes to your yikes.
Yikes, Daniel Franco for suing Rock Nation for negligence because they made you fight 3 fights in boxing over the span of 79 days. And now you had a brain swelling on your 3rd fight, and you'll never be able to fight again, according to the doctors. So you were forced to retire. You will never win that argument. I don't know what you're suing for. You will lose because you sign knowing being in the boxing world, you sign a contract which foregoes all that. So you will lose. Rock Nation will not pay you any money. You knew what the risk was getting in there. He's claiming they put him in too many fights too quick. You have to sign the dotted line to say you're willing to fight. So good luck trying to break the contract. It's a losing case. Yikes. You're an idiot.
Yikes.
Speaking of boxing, one thing I learned this past week was that Wilder is like an independent contractor, and he can make the Fury and Joshua fights happen if he wants to, because he's not.
He fights. He's an independent contractor because of that.
Mm-hmm. So he's not signed with Showtime permanently. He just likes fighting on them. All right.
Right.
So
Because
that gives
Al
me a little
Heyman
more hope.
Al Heyman is his advisor, but he doesn't have a contract with Al Heyman, and Al Heyman fighters fight on Showtime.
Mm-hmm. But there's still hope that at least.
No, there is for him.
At least the Wilder Fury fight, I would like to see again. At this point, I'm over Joshua.
On this point, I'm kind of with Wilder on Fury is running. I think Fury knows he got lucky. He dodged a bullet because he got clocked and somehow made it back up. We just saw Brazil get clocked, and it didn't go the same way for him. Anthony Joshua, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to be a Pacquiao Mayweather fight type.
Like Wilder said, he doesn't think Joshua's scared. It's just, unfortunately, there's bigger... The promoters make everything difficult. So I don't think any top boxer in the world is scared of another man. I'm sure they all believe they're the best.
But this is why boxing will never be one of the top sports, because you don't pit the best against the best.
It was a top sport, but
until they're past their prime.
It was one of the top sports in the 70s until, like you said, the promoters got into it. And now the fighters can, and money. Now there's so much money to be made, you don't have to take risks.
Like they're looking at all these small ones as like, oh, we can get 20, or right. I'm just throwing out a number, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million.
That's about right.
Versus where if they have this mega fight, you get the
plus it also
million.
You're not making as much money if you lose. So there's that risk of you losing, and then now you're not making that money.
And like Wilder was saying, Anthony Joshua, since he's the biggest attraction in boxing, is totally okay with filling out Wembley Stadium for which is like 120,000 people, selling that out and making 30 million fighting a bum.
Right.
He can do that over and over and over and over again and make that money easy.
Yeah.
So it's too easy for him. The problem is the fans have to start to not show up.
Yeah.
This is why boxing's rigged.
I think this is why UFC's a little more popular, is just because they give them the matchups that fans want to see. You don't have to worry about it.
Because it's under one sanctioning body.
You're not.
Boxing should be.
All those that go to like Bellator or One MMA, they're good, but they're not great. Like Ryan Bader is the two champ in Bellator right now, and he lost to John Jones until a disqualification came into play. Like, I mean, we all know. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. Which reminds me, I have to talk to Ben soon.
You have to do your UFC now.
You sounded so excited about that.
I'm just getting his picks this week.
Talk to Ben soon.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing an interview without one of you guys.
Are you doing your picks?
Not until next week. The fight's June 8th. So.
June 8th. Yeah. So it'll be not this weekend, but the weekend after.
The weekend after.
Yeah.
So.
So next podcast we'll have to.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight card for sure. So I'm kind of interested in watching that, but. That's gonna be when I'm back in Syracuse, so we'll talk.
I always forget when you're coming back. I don't know. Just give me a holler when you're here.
Hey.
You know what I'm not happy about is UFC having a fight or having a card in Greenville, South Carolina, which is only an hour away from me, but no Stephen Thompson, who's from there, on the card.
Yeah, they don't exactly execute all the time on their deliveries like that.
Everyone on the card is no one I know, so I'm not going. Otherwise, I would go.
That Rochester card worked out for upstate New York. I was surprised at how well that came out.
They had good names on there, though.
Mm-hmm. But usually, like, when you get that kind of, like, star power, it doesn't always work out, though, either.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm still waiting for UFC Seattle here. Jesus.
Is Kevin Lee's career over?
I don't see him getting another shot at a title, that's for sure. I think he might be a journeyman, though. I never thought too highly of Kevin Lee, and when he got that first chance, or his only chance, I should say, so far, at the title, I didn't think he deserved it. I just think it was just the best option for what they had. So
yeah.
But other than that, I think that's it, right?
That's that.
When When's good for you, Stefan? And I can tell you if I agree or disagree.
I'm trying to remember. Hold on. I'll pull it up right now.
All right. Well, I will tell you this: Thursday is a no-go, and so is Friday. Next week, because I'm traveling Thursday, and then I'm in Syracuse Friday for family things early. We were actually planning on coming in Saturday, so.
If
So
I do
Monday.
get this
Monday or Tuesday works for me.
All right.
Monday or Tuesday. All right.
Monday, Tuesday, all around. I don't know. I kind of like doing Mondays, and I kind of like doing Tuesdays. So.
What were you saying, Corey? If you get the job?
It could we could have some scheduling difficulties.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. No.
It's fine. We'll work.
I'll
We'll
be
work with
working
what we're doing.
3/12s one week, 4/12s another week, so it's going to be hard moving it all around, but we'll figure it out.
That's what she said. All right. We always find a way. I'm open for late nights if you guys are. Just saying.
It'll just have to be pre-recorded. I'll have to pretend I'm talking to the two of you, and you'll just have to edit me.
I'll just hit play, and here's Corey's.
Yeah, we'll just record a bunch of Corey's favorite sayings.
Yikes.
Yikes.
I'll throw in one random not true fact.
What was it? What's the other one? Why am I drawing a blank right now? It's that beer I chugged earlier. That's why. Damn it. Ah. Damn zingers. Anyway. Just like my beer chugging, I'm ending with a thud. Pineapple, never cool.
Milkshake IPA is the new thing.
Where have you been?
Damian Lillard's really the best long-range shooter.
Alright. Talk to you guys later. I'm actually kind of annoyed by that. Bye.
No, I need to. Oh, that dick. Fine, I didn't want to talk to him about next week.